Oliver. So nice to have you here with Pharmacircuit and hearing your talk about boosting innovation, digitalization, and profit in pharma with artificial intelligence and digital twins. So it's a pleasure to have such an expert of business improvement and digital transformation with us. For all your experience in productivity, process automation, and safety improvements. So to briefly introduce yourself, so Oliver is the co-founder of New Intelligence Group, and with over 25 years of experience in the industry. And Oliver focused on the development of people and digitalization of information and material flows, basically through innovative product design, advanced marketing, sales and operational planning, analytics, business intelligence, and predictive business simulation. So thank you very much for joining us today, Oliver. You are free to start your presentation. The stage is yours.
All right. Thank you, Mario. I guess this shows the importance of keeping your LinkedIn profile up to date also. Good morning, everyone. Guten Morgen. It's a pleasure to be with you all this morning this afternoon in Germany now. I would like to thank the team at Pharmacircuit and my former colleague Kushal Das for the invite. As Mario said, I'll be looking at how we could boost innovation, digitalization, and profit in the industry. My name is Oliver Buhlinger. I am Head of Technology at New Intelligence Group Limited. We are a software startup who have survived and thrived through the pandemic, whilst we've been developing our Voyage 360 Beta, a SaaS platform for business improvement and digital transformation. We as a business operate across any industry, but I personally have worked in the pharma sector with Kushal actually in another Oxford startup, which had clients in big pharma, research institutes, and major universities engaged in biotech and nanotech. New Intelligence are addressing a need of every business in the world. Now, that's a big statement. Hopefully, I'll be able to live up to that as well. I'm sure we can all agree that there is a global challenge we're all facing right now. There already was a global push for improving our manufacturing output or productivity. We now need to make up for the effects of the global pandemic and the lockdowns. The UK has seen decades of decline over the last 40 years. We have work to do, but we all need to do it smarter. Now, when you look at this data here, the UK, as the 9th largest manufacturing nation in the world, has actually reduced its manufacturing output as a percentage of the GDP from 25% in the 70s to just 8.5% in 2019. So you can see that why the government is actually pushing, or the governments are pushing for this is around our carbon emissions, and they are forming part of KPIs for governments, businesses, local government, and it's really about being more sustainable, taking better care of our planet and its resources. The two most productive countries are also the worst offenders when it comes to carbon emissions. There's been a further worldwide race for the adoption of digital technologies. The USA reigns supreme here, whereas China, being the 2nd largest manufacturer, is only at on the 16th ranked there. Now, China addresses their manufacturing challenges slightly different, I would say, in terms of they have the capability to throw a huge amount of bodies at manufacturing operations, whilst we, due to our wages, for example, what we pay our employees, have a bigger challenge to actually automate. Of course, it can also have to do with the policies of government and other things. But really, the key here is, will automation help and digitalization help the global industry? And I think we can all agree that is the case. So we see some real greatness here from Singapore and Denmark as well, in terms of their digitalization. I also had the pleasure of going to Finland to visit one of our partners, Visual Components, and again, they are really strong when it comes to digitalization. So the only way this global challenge and these multiple challenges that we have are going to be solved is through business improvement and digital transformation. Countries are essentially businesses. Local governments are businesses, and the global industry is made up of businesses. Business improvement is tough, and business owners want digital transformation, but they might not know where to start and might be daunted at the consultancy fees to get the help they need, especially the SMEs, the small to medium sized enterprises. We wanted to make help accessible to everyone and encourage collaboration across industry through our platform. Now, when it comes to business improvement, businesses want to improve, but the challenge is that you need to be able to improve your business, and you need to be able to maintain your current operations. You need to keep your business running. You need to keep the lights on. You need to keep your customers satisfied. You need to be able to deliver on time, in full, at the quality that the customer expects, to their highest satisfaction. And then you want to obviously make profit at the end and have your margin. So how will the world approach these challenges? The way we've always done it? Last time I checked, that was the perfect description of insanity. Are we going to do it different? Are we going to think differently? Are we going to innovate? Are we going to collaborate? And are we going to create an environment where not only are we thriving at doing business, but we're actually creating an environment and a world and an ecosystem that we can all enjoy? That is our challenge. We have thought differently. The new intelligence team, after combined 250 years worth of experience, and don't worry, we don't have 250 employees. We in those years of driving business performance in manufacturing businesses, mainly across industries, we realized we could really only do our team of a core team of just over a dozen, I would say, that really were interconnected and driving these changes. We realized we could only do a few projects in parallel without massively increasing the team size, because essentially it was internal consultancy processes or external consultancy processes of helping other businesses. So business improvement projects also took a long time. They were labor intensive, and we realized that there was a sequence to how we approach each project, regardless of the industry or the product being made. We have found a way to bring people and technology together as one. We have simplified the complexity of the process to increase profit and margin and drive the business excellence needle. It's the invention of our founder, Martin Clougherty, who you can see in the bottom right corner there, who I have had the pleasure of building the business with and developing our software platform and digital twinning business over the last 2 years. The business is just over 3 years old, and it's great. If you've got the mind to go into that startup life, as you can see, I'm becoming a bit of a startup addict now, and it's great. There's a lot of excitement, but you're gonna have to put in the hours. You're gonna have to think differently, and it's all about innovation. It's all about bringing a team together and building a great culture in a business. And I'm really glad to be working with Martin and our team, who are great, absolute smashing team. So across many improvement projects, we saw that every business has the same building blocks that determine its capability. What you see here on the left is our version of the automation pyramid. And I'd like to quickly set the scene with the automation pyramid, so we kind of get an idea of what we're looking at, and hopefully break it down into something more simple, because businesses, the whole supply chain and businesses, it is a complex thing. So we have 6 levels in ours, so we've slightly changed the standard pyramid, and we now have 6 levels in ours. Level 0 represents your information and your material flow. It's the shop floor. It might be your lab, it might be your automation facility. It also really deals with everything that's happening in your field. So this could be vans driving around. This could be your people, your field agents. It's also what's happening with the materials that leave your business and go to the customer, the products and the materials that are arriving at your facility coming from the supply chain. The key really is the connectivity of the people and the technology on this level to allow you to successfully measure and manage. So when you get everything connected, if you don't get any data from any of the processes, for example, the people working on manual processes, you're missing a key component in your overall mission of delivering a product. So it's really about getting information from everything that's happening in your business to get a real line of sight throughout your business. Level 1 deals with your plant and your control systems. Again, the key here is utilizing the data that's being produced in the other levels in the most effective way. So here we're talking about your PLC, your controls, your motor control sensors. It's your sensing and your manipulation level. Level 2 gives you the ability. Cool. I think we've jumped. Yeah. Level 2 gives you the capability to visualize your plant data on a supervisory level and give you dashboards and mobile apps to respond to issues, have early and on warning signals, and control utilizing human machine interfaces and mobile apps and that sort of thing. Level 3 gives you the ability to track what people are doing on the shop floor, whilst also giving them instructions in real time, for example, and also in the field through your manufacturing execution systems. and more recently benefiting from live operator instructions using virtual and augmented reality. Again, the key to the success of this level is really the cleanliness of your and the accuracy of your source data. If you're looking to get started on MES, then definitely speak to us, because we have an ecosystem of solutions partners that will be absolutely happy to help. And one of those examples you can see there, or one of the RoboPod bench pods, you have a data collection manufacturing tracking system from Total Control Pro installed, that would be able to give you instructions, but also execute and track these manual processes. Okay, level 4 deals with our enterprise-wide systems, or quote-to-cash processes. The key systems generally used at this level are customer relationship management, CRM. You have your enterprise resource management, ERP. But and then of course some businesses, they're not even on this technology yet. So you have many businesses, including startups, that start with a spreadsheet approach. Everything's Excel, customer data, your bill of materials, and it might not even be Excel. Some businesses are still running on a sheet of paper. But it's, again, even if you have a paper-based system, then what's key is that your source data is accurate, because if you cannot make decisions on bad data. So again, it's all about getting your capability up in all of these levels. But yes, we've also come to realize, as we've been working and utilizing ERP, the way usually most major ERPs come out of the box, and we've dealt with all the major ones, they are limited to a certain extent. In some cases, I would actually call them not very intelligent when it comes to helping in our decision making. So what I'm saying is they present the data back to you, but they don't really, sort of intelligently suggest things, and they're generally not self-optimizing either. And with that, we are arriving at our level 5, where we address the need for more intelligent systems that help you predict the future, protect and grow the business. And what you see, the video on the right, is where we have done this in a business, which was a major improvement project. And the outcome was a totally connected plant. But not only that, we were actually able to win awards, including the Smart Factory Award that we were awarded by the Manufacturer magazine. We also won the Simulation Project of the Year, Witness Simulation Project of the Year, and the Operational Research Society President's Medal, just amongst some other awards. We also won the Queen's Award. So the outcome was that we were able to deliver critical projects. So we're talking here about a project manufacturing business with over 300 employees, part of a global group of over 500 employees, and delivering critical motors and pumps. It was a highly clean and safety critical also process on the shop floor. And we were able to deliver those projects globally with a high level of financial budgeting accuracy. We're talking over the 90s. We were then able to simulate the whole processes in the factory. At the click of a button, we could run a financial budget simulation for a year in advance and identify the constraints that would stop us from delivering our promises to our customers, shareholders, investors. And that is really where it became powerful, because in one example, we were able to risk mitigate a 2 million revenue constraint by addressing the issues proactively 1 year and 6 months in advance by running the simulation, which was completely connected to our enterprise systems, including the ERP and the CRM. So the digital twin of our plant enabled us to win high-value clients, gain investment of over, and then push some of that investment into 10 million of, or more, over 10 million of capex in the plant and the machinery, completely changing the layout. And all of that was done with these digital twins. We avoided costly capex mistakes, including 500,000 on cranes through the simulation. And we actually developed new products and tried and tested them inside of our simulation. And that was a way where we revolutionized how we were moving really heavy products that were very safety critical as well. And the quality, the risk of damage was high. So we reduced all that, but we proved it out in the virtual world and then executed excellently in the real world. We doubled the plant capacity, reduced lead times by more than 50%, took us years. But Voyage 360 embodies all the lessons that we've learned across all of these projects, and we wanted to be able to do it quicker, cheaper, more effective. So the businesses that take that full journey will be able to protect their business, to turn their business into a closed loop system, making much more effective decisions to drive profit and margin, safety, innovation, and also net zero compliance. So how do you manage? How do you manage the complexity of all this? How do you get to a truly connected business? It can be daunting, but we look at this in a simpler way. Let's say to measure a business capability, you split it into 4 categories: leadership and strategy, people and culture, data and systems, and processes and procedures. And what if you could tackle this giant endeavor by building up each business building block? The word cloud there is just a small selection of all the elements that actually form that journey of improvement, and all the things that you really need to build up in terms of capability. So how do you manage it? How do you track it? How do you sequence it? Which steps do you take first? And how do you get everyone aligned and on board in the business? Because as we know with improvement projects, getting a buy-in is one of the biggest challenges always. So the concept of Lean Six Sigma is proven and effective. And the DMAIC process of defining the challenge, measuring, analyzing, improving and controlling is not new. Every Lean Six Sigma practitioner knows about it. What we have done is to codify that process. We map and digitally twin the knowledge of the people in the business. Nobody knows your business better. We diagnose the current state and the gaps with artificial intelligence, natural language processing, and emotion AI. Voyage 360 then sequences your business improvement building blocks to generate your tailored roadmap to increase your business capability. It does it quicker, non-biased, and team-based. And the process actually takes less than 60 minutes. We generally start with a business owner or champion and then move on to a team of 8 because of the statistical sample size. And we then get these people mapping in parallel to get the wisdom of crowds benefit. Voyage 360 Solution Store then brings the best of industry, software, and services providers together collaboratively for the benefit of our customers. We have codified consultancy, and that again is a big statement, but we do not see ourselves as competitors to others, but we want to collaborate. So really the platform brings us all together, very similar to the platform that brings us all together today. And it is a cyclic process where you go in steps, you go at the pace that you need, and you know, how do you eat the elephant? chunk by chunk. Well, I'm not recommending eating elephants, by the way. Yeah, so Voyage 360 Complexity Simplified, our beta version, and it is being used by our clients, and we have success stories. Some of you can see a testimonial here. What we found, which just naturally evolved into that, really, is that we've seen an interest from VCs and for venture capitals and private equity to manage their portfolio companies, for example. So I hope that has given you a bit of an overview of Voyage 360 without giving you a full-blown sales pitch. Our aim is to become the #1 SaaS software provider for business improvement and digital transformation. We're not at the stage where we're heavily marketing the software and services, but if you're interested to know more, go to the newintelligence.com, new-intelligence.com website, or hit me up on LinkedIn or Twitter. One of the areas where we've seen more interest in our private equity and venture capital houses, as I said. So it's about managing their investments and getting those businesses more capable, producing more profit and more return on investment for them. So fresh equity is one example, and we've used Voyage 360 to map 3 of their portfolio businesses already and seen the benefits. I'll give you a quick overview of one of those, which is MCS Control Systems. So the challenge really for them is they're leading systems integrator who manufacture their control panels and their systems and their products in Coventry. So it's project manufacture again. They've experienced significant growth and they have a desire to scale, increase their productivity, and at the same time they want to revamp their site to create a center of excellence. The solution for them was Voyage 360 and our digital twinning capability and services, and business intelligence, and bringing it all together. So some of the benefits that they've experienced already is a clear vision and roadmap, a technology stack developed, the CRM, the systems, looking at the CRM and the ERP connectivity, bringing it together, improving already their efficiencies from not just on the shop floor in manufacturing, but these transactional processes that make it all happen, that happen in the office, in engineering, in software development. They have now their synergy meetings and dashboards, which is absolutely marvelous to see. And they have improved their data accuracy. And what you see there is the digital twin of the vision for the how the plant will be revamped, introducing automation and smart material handling methods, and just creating an actual customer experience center where people can experience the solutions that they provide and their wider partners provide. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure participating. There's an awesome automation simulation case study that really would speak to you all as well. I'm not allowed to show it yet, so you might have to invite me back to talk more about that. So yeah, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and if you're interested to talk to us further, please get in touch.
Thank you very much, Oliver, for joining today's session, and of course it will be a pleasure to introduce you back and to welcome you back once your case study is published. So this is always an interesting point to discuss, I believe. So I would have a couple of questions to you.
Okay.
As we know that the pharmaceutical industry is quite complex and sometimes difficult to change for the strict regulations. So at which level do you see the fastest wins for companies in their business architecture?
Again, one of the dangers is where people want to jump straight into the technology, to say, oh yeah, if we just introduce some robots here, we'll get a quick win. So I've seen across many projects where people decide to introduce one piece of software or one piece of technology to get a quick win, but when you're not looking at the whole thing, the whole architecture and the whole system, you might find that you actually creating more problems later on. And also, I do believe that the solutions are unique to each business. Each business is the same in terms of those key categories that I've discussed, but in terms of what works for each business, that is where the challenge is, to really identify a roadmap of the improvements that the steps you take first. So of course, AI is, when you just look at the market size of AI, robotics, machine learning, and also business intelligence, those are, real areas of growth that will benefit everyone. But it is really key to step back first and map your entire business and develop your roadmap that will get you to have not only quick wins, but also the big win overall.
Thank you very much. Especially, I think most important as changes get visible in pharmaceutical sector just over several years, as processes are long processes. So quite important to have the long-term vision.
Yes.
And another short question. So very interesting what you presented about private equity and venture capital and their holistic management of their investments. So from your experience, which KPIs are they more interested in to look at? Also knowing, as we just discussed, that sometimes successes of the business are not visible in the short term, and even the traction and the business success you can just see on a very long time scale. So how do you see that?
Yeah, again, of course, they look at their return on investment. They want to see that a startup, let's say a pharma startup, if it has a huge amount of investment, they might not actually want the return on investment straight away in terms of profit. I've worked in a business where profit wasn't even the objective at all, which sounds crazy, but when you have more limited resources, then a venture capitalist wants to see a profit and a margin. But they also now more as they're now looking at it more maturely and saying, I actually want to see a trajectory and a clear plan and a vision and an execution roadmap to see that this business is going to bring me a bigger return of investment that is sustainable.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Oliver. This was interesting. I can share this also from my experiences. I've also worked for a private equity-owned company. For sure, this is true, and would be really looking forward to hear more from you once you have the case study, and we will be happy to invite you back then to have a further discussion. So thank you very much, Oliver, for your contribution to Pharmacircuit. It is much appreciated, and we hope to connect soon. So thank you.
Thank you.